Yeah, it is everyone's duty, right? And even in Toastmasters, there is something called Youth Leadership Program. That is volunteering, completely volunteering. We are not paid for that. Even in Toastmasters, somebody feels, or you get paid. When you play a role, when I was division director in my organization, they were thinking, I got paid in Toastmasters to play that role, but I spent a lot of money. Okay, the next speaker who is going to deliver here is from the path is going to deliver the speeches, presentation mastery and level 3 project, persuasive speaking. And before I call him to the stage, I call his evaluator Toastmaster Ashok to read out the objective.
Sure. So today's DTM Sateesh is delivering his project from Presentation Mastery Path Level 3, Project 1, Persuasive Speaking. So the title of the speech is Purpose versus Pleasure. The title of the speech is Purpose versus Pleasure. The purpose of the speech is, the purpose is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Timer to note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. Show. All the best, Sateesh. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Ashok. A word of caution, if you are not put your mobile in silent mode, spend some time and do it. So, when everyone talks about Sateesh, they all say he is a Ramana of Toastmaster. He has got all the data in his head. But I'll tell him, so organized in noting down information, so all that. For me, that is one thing everybody knows. But consistency I really love about Sateesh. Maybe with respect to Toastmasters, the Gavel Club is coordinating, or Meraki following up with everyone, consistency on getting things done. Sateesh, you celebrate that consistency. I'm sure we'll go places. Purpose versus
Pleasure.
Toastmaster Sateesh, purpose.
Medical expert says COVID after effects will last for a few months for the person who was infected. But for me in our family, though we were not infected directly on COVID, the outcome of the COVID, which is the online classes, the enough time available, it has infected my eldest son for about 2 years, right from 2020 until 2022. The kind of time he got, the kind of free aspects he can do, whatever other than reading or studying, the gaming, which overtook him whole part of those 2 years. It took me so much time and effort to bring him back on the purpose. During the summer of 2022, like this on us, we have a smaller board, whiteboard. I brought him to the study room and I asked him to sit. I started jotting down the options he has when he wants to go from grade 10 to 11. Because for us in the country of India, where the education system plays a vital role on 11th and 12th, the options, being an engineer myself and my wife is also engineer, I started with him on the 3 simple groups available. Start with the group 1 of biology, where he can have a medicine. It comes from my wife's father's generation. Second one, obvious, of computer science, where he has an option to go for engineering. Third one, again, the loving subject for me, where I tried to excel, of finances and commerce. So I gave him the options and I told him to take a pass of all those pleasure he was going through and ask him to decide. Good morning, Miraculous and guests. I'll come back to the decision what he has taken at the end of my speech. After I moved to Mumbai and Bangalore in the last 5 years, I spent plenty of my weekend and holidays on any combined holidays with my family, and one of the most exciting time for me is going for a drive with my younger kid, who is currently about 13 years old, Tanuj. Our drive is not like going to the forest location from Chennai or staying in a big resort. It may be a small pleasure where we drive down until the Palavantangal yet to be commissioned station and have our snack in the evening. Or going in a two-wheeler to the nearby streets and roaming around. When we go on a drive, he always excited when he sees his school, because he want to go there, stop the car, open the sunroof, and he want to see how the empty school will look like. There are plenty of topics we used to converse on those drives and rides. Topics as simple as like why this Pani Puri stall comes only at 5:30 in the evening in Palavanangal, close to station. Why not he comes at 12:30 in a weekdays? So while I come back from my school, I can have my Pani Puri, not to wait for a weekend. Even a simple thing like when we ride a two-wheeler, he asks, what and all we should do, Papa, when you take a turn left after putting an indicator, what we should do. Plenty of conversation happens. Even sometimes we even wonder, he asks, what is there on the other side of the sea? You know, I'll take the Google map and tell him, see, other side of sea from Tamil Nadu, maybe it's Sri Lanka. After Sri Lanka, the edge of the Sri Lanka, what is there on the other side of the sea? You know, it's a kind of so many exciting conversations. Even when I used to do blessings of online working sometimes, I used to take interviews at home and I'll close the door, everything. The word he keep hearing, and yesterday when I was planning for an interview, he said, can I come and see what's happening? You know, I said, I'm hiring for someone at a site level. He said, then ordinary people will join this job, no? I said, what is this ordinary people? No, somebody who doesn't have much of a fancy education, not of a much experience. You know, kind of conversations I built it. I thought, why not? I take these conversations to a place where I can educate him something or make him realize what is the worth of it. That's when I started continuing those conversations in the bedtime stories. And I always start a story like this. Tanush, there is a huge apartment in Velachery. There are about 130 houses. There is a third floor where there is a family. They have 2 sons. The younger one, the naughtiest one. He always get bored, but after that the story will turn into a different conversations. That's how we, you know, I share my stories, and I used to tell him how hard it was for me when I had an opportunity to come out of my native rather than just enjoying my life there with my job, what I was taking in my textile business of my cousin and everything. You know, I tried to weave a story for him. That's when on one of the lighter conversation, we started asking like, that's a moment comes, right? Every parents ask this question. You know, teenagers knows much, right? Like, what do you want to do? That's when he gave a response like, I'm really happy, Appa, it's okay. No, I'll be happy always. I said, how do you be happy? You know, you need money, you need place to live, you need food, everything. You know, right now I'm getting it, you are working, handful of money. I said, listen, I'll get retired in about 10-15 years. No, then Harshan is studying, you know, he will go to college, he will go to work, and he will drive me down, give me money. You know, though it was a very lighter moment, that took me back on thinking what is there in his thought process. Again, this conversation led to one after the other, and I brought him back again about 3 weeks back. Again, I took him back, like my elder one, to a whiteboard. I gave him what are all the options, because he is now crossing from 8th to 9th grade. I told him what are all the options in front of you, where you think about taking into a medicine, taking into a arts or an engineering or a commerce. The moment all those fun conversations has got into serious thoughts, then I told him there is always a pleasure, and also you need a purpose which will drive you, not just living with the money or only having a fun in it. So that's when he thought, okay, now I am currently getting into this celebration, fun, pleasure, everything. I obviously has to think something through. So I gave him options. I told him what, you know, those 3 bigger engineering colleges option you have, either IITs, NITs, or the normal colleges what you have in the city. So he took those thoughts, and finally there was a moment when we want to enroll him to do something fruitfully in the coming year, because he's getting into the 9th grade. That's when he finally consciously agreed, and he signed up for this JEE coaching entrance again. They call it as FTR. It's a Fiji talent reward exam. So he took up this exam last Sunday, and I was shuttling between this program at Gavel and dropping him in the morning. When he came out of the exam hall, I was standing there to pick him up. It's all emotions running around. You know, I have my tears in my eyes, and the opportunity which I did not have. You know, it was a great pleasure for me when I was telling him that there is a purpose to it. With that, you can take your life forward. Over to you.